Hi, everyone.
Greetings. In chapter 16 of the Proclaimer's book, Meetings for Worship, Instruction, and Encouragement, they're now talking about the streamlining that took place in the early decades. We associate most of that streamlining with later days, and truth to tell, it isn't mostly in later days after Russell is dead that this takes place, but you get the impression here that they're doing it already. And they did change a few things, but here's some of the details of what they changed in the early days.
The way in which the Sunday meeting was handled in some places was of concern to the brothers. Some classes tried to discuss the Bible verse by verse, but at times the differences of opinion as to meaning were not at all upbuilding. To improve the situation, certain ones in the congregation in Los Angeles, California, developed outlines for topical Bible study, with questions and references to be examined by all the class before coming to the meeting. In 1902, the Society made available a Bible containing Berean Bible study helps, including a topical index. To further simplify matters, starting with the March 1st, 1905 Watchtower, outlines for congregation discussion were published, with questions as well as references to the Bible and the Society's publications for research. These continued on until 1914, by which time study questions on the volumes of the Studies in the Scriptures were published for use as a basis for Berean studies.
All the classes had the same material available, but the number of weekly meetings varied from 1 to 4 or more, according to what was arranged locally. In Colombo, Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, beginning in 1914, meetings were actually being held 7 days a week. The Bible students were encouraged to learn to do research, to prove all things. We would say make sure of all things nowadays. To express thoughts in their own words. And they reference the text where you have make sure of all things in the New World Translation, 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Brother Russell encouraged a full and free discussion of the study material. He also cautioned, never forget that the Bible is our standard, capital S standard, and that, however, God-given our helps may be, they are helps, and not substitutes for the Bible. Now, obviously, the refinement you need to get to where you are as Jehovah's Witnesses is way beyond Russell. Yes, they used publications in those days, but Russell's own stress was don't depend completely on the publications. But by the time he dies, we know what he famously had said, namely that if someone stops using the helps, my books, he will drift out
and you
be
won't
back
understand the Bible.
And be back in Christendom.
Yeah.
Fred Franz later said something similar.
So this discussion they're discussing the publications, they're not discussing the Bible. So this, even at the beginning here, they talk about some of them trying to discuss the Bible verse by verse, but the difference of opinion caused them to be discouraged from doing that, and then they set up this system which is still with witnesses, where they have study material, they have their paragraphs, then they have questions supplied so that you'll answer from the paragraph, not in your own words and not with your own thinking. You're ending up just parroting what you read in the paragraph.
Even in our day, when we were still pioneering and I was an elder, I remember some of the elders were very emphatic that, how come you're commenting outside the paragraph?
Yeah.
And they would look at you kind of strange even 45 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's apparently completely taken over now. When a person visits the Kingdom Hall nowadays, they're horrified because they immediately identify what you're doing as mind control, brainwashing.
So, the reason they don't want you to do verse by verse Bible study is because you might come to a different conclusion than the Watchtower does. I would say almost guaranteed you'll come to a different understanding from the Bible text itself. So we don't spend time reading verse by verse, and we don't do studies that way. We do it in topics and we do it in publications. There's more control that way.
Control is the key word. But even with this idea of researching and proving all things, that's the King James wording, make sure of all things in the New World Translation. Even that nowadays is about, well, that's what we do with our Bible studies. When they're getting ready for baptism, we make sure they know the doctrines of Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah,
but
that's the point,
when
though.
Paul said it in 1 Thessalonians 5:21, he's not talking to Bible studies, he's talking to the church. Yeah. You make sure.
Yeah.
So Russell was closer to that understanding than they are now.
Yeah, but still, it's our understanding, not the scriptures. It's what, what we say it means. That's what you have to get to be studying like a Berean and be an expert in the way we put it, what it means.
So today, I have to say, from the evidence we've seen with our eyes and heard with our ears from people who've left, and sometimes after decades of being bored at the Kingdom Hall, they recognize the problem is not with them. The problem is with the food you're being given, which is actually just endlessly regurgitated pablum from the old days.
And all sounding exactly the same. A computer could write the articles that are in the Watchtower.
Except that AI would have more personality.
Yeah. There's no personality in it. They discourage personality. That kind of dehumanizes the text itself, because it doesn't sound like it has a person behind it. It has a computer behind it or a machine.
Well, the net effect after decades of this mind control is you've de-Christianized the content of what you feed people, and you've dehumanized the listener.
Yeah.
Because they're used to this endless recycling of the same thoughts.
Yeah.
And they associate their boredom with their own spiritual weakness. That, unfortunately, is the first, it's the default diagnosis for every Jehovah's Witness. They don't realize until much later, no, it's the basic assumption you've made that you're the best fed people on earth has never been true.
Yeah.
But it was more true in the old days. It was certainly more true in 1971, when I was not feeling at all that I was starving, at least for those first few years, with tools that were published recently, like the aid book and the concordance. I could study to my heart's content.
But you also looked at those, and any references, you try and find those books too.
Yeah.
So I don't think most of us were like you. I wasn't like you.
Well,
I never read Footnotes, and
it took me 10 years to realize that the things that now excited me after 5 or 10 years as a pioneer and then an elder, the things that now excited me were in the publications of Christendom that I was picking up one at a time without even knowing that they were written by clergymen. I just loved the books, and many of them are still in print today. Why is that? Because they were food in the first place.
So I do think that, we love books. It's obvious we love books, and we view them as tools and as teachers from the history of church. There's been teachers in every generation that you can benefit from. But when we do Bible studies, we do verse by verse. We read the Bible itself, and people say they look forward to coming to the study because it is done that way. And then we reference things. Yeah, sure, we'll reference things, but the emphasis is on the Bible, and we have not found that it causes people to
Friction.
be discouraged.
Yeah.
Generally, what you find is it deepens your Bible appreciation, and it humbles you, because other people have different insights than you do when they read the text.
And when we encourage people to go and study for themselves, as we do at our Zoom groups, we don't find that when they come back we're all disagreeing with each other. No, you'll find the same substance in all of the great tools that are out there. You will find that Christendom scholars do disagree on some things, but they're usually of minor importance.
Yeah.
But even when they're of major importance, let's say eschatology, the kingdom, and the millennium, and things like that, there's no rancor. You don't have to fight about it. You just say, this is what some Christians believe, and this is what others believe.
Yeah. And you get the personality of people, too.
You sure do.
There's the flavor of the different people at your study and the different people that you're reading. And, that way you can choose somebody that you get, that you understand, that you can You can figure out what they're saying. That's helpful, and that's going to build you up as well as others.
And like we did last time, we want to link to the video we did about the reason we used to feel that we were well fed is because we had lots of publications, a stream of them every year.
Yeah.
Every week, really, for decades anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference now is that you don't have that. You have instead a handful of magazines a year at the most,
and they all
and
sound the same.
maybe one or two rather feeble publications compared to the ones that Fred Franz would write, let's say. So you don't realize you're starving when you're a witness. I think nowadays you realize you're bored, but you don't know the reason for that. Is that you're actually starving, and it's a slow death.
Yeah.
So here's the video we did on the contrast between, let's say, 1971's releases and the current feeding program.
Right. Okay.
See you next time.
Bye.